Hello dears, warm greetings. My name is Yadesa Tolosa Wiyesa. In this video, I'm going to present for you a lesson on DACUM analysis, its implications for competency-based occupational standards and technical and vocational education and training curriculum development. It's better if I introduce myself. This is my contact information. I have email and also YouTube channel and also LinkedIn platform and also have Facebook. So anyone who wants to contact me can get me via this one of these platforms. Specifically, you can refer to my LinkedIn in order to see my or understand or know my profile in general. I can say that I am a professional, specifically in consultancy. In trainer, I can say I'm a consultant in technical and vocational education training and community development. I can say I'm a specialist in that perspective. And also, I'm a vocational career counselor. I'm also working as a researcher, writer. When you say, I wrote about 6 or 7 books in English as well as in Amharic and Afan Oromo. I'm also a translator. When you say, I'm used to translating readings or manuscripts or books from English to Amharic, English to Afan Oromo, and the other way around, or vice versa, from Amharic or Afan into English as well. I can say I'm also a YouTuber who said this is my 109th videos I've uploaded so far. I can say I'm a DACUM or DACUM and competence-based training facilitator. Especially, I'm a promoter of DACUM analysis and competence-based training approaches. I can say I'm highly experienced in that perspective. So anyone who wants to see me or join me or communicate with me can use one of or either of these of my addresses. This is my certificate that certifies that I'm a DACUM facilitator. I'm a DACUM facilitator. When I say DACUM facilitator, I've facilitated about or more than 30 or 35 workshops, specifically when I was working in Ministry of Education TVET sector. So I can say I'm experienced DACUM facilitator. And also I provide training of trainers for DACUM facilitators as well. I used to do so. This is what certifies that I'm a facilitator or I'm a professional facilitator. So anyone who wants me or wants my help can communicate with me. Now let me say something about the contents of the 4 videos. By the way, this one is 109 videos that I've said. There are about 4 videos that you should follow or pursue in order to get full-fledged knowledge about DACUM and competence-based training analysis, especially when we compare DACUM analysis or DACUM process with the other types of competence-based training approach or competence-based training development approach such as competency standards. So there are about 4 videos that you should see. The first video is, as you can see from this slide, it is about DACUM analysis. And video 1 and 10 will deal about competency standards. And video 111 is a kind of comparing and contrasting DACUM analysis versus competency standards. And the last video, that is video 112, that you should see consecutively, deals with DACUM and competency standards in developing OS and curriculum. By the way, I've developed or prepared these 4 videos based on my research, I've undertaken. The research I've undertaken so far is read like this. Let me read it for you. DACUM analysis versus competency standards, implications for occupational standards and TV curriculum development. This is the article I do have. So based on my article's findings that I prepared these 4 videos. Thank you very much for your staying with me. Now let me move to presenting video 101 about DACUM analysis. DACUM analysis, we will see about definitions, principles, and philosophies, and also we'll see about major characteristics of the DACUM approach. We'll see also DACUM in developing OS and the curriculum. We will see also merits and demerits of DACUM in these specific videos. DACUM definitions. DACUM, some pronounce it as DACUM, is an acronym for developing a curriculum. The DACUM development is an approach to job analysis that involves a committee of 5 to 10, some people say 5 to 12, experienced workers, experts working together under the leadership of a trained facilitator. Yeah, that should be a trained facilitator, by the way. Without facilitator, you can't implement. Without a trained facilitator, you can't implement DACUM. DACUM, still we are talking about its definitions. DACUM is commonly used approach for occupational standards. What does occupational standard mean? By the way, I present this already for you in my YouTube channel. You can get it. What occupational standard means, what TVET curriculum development is, how occupational standards are developed, by the way. So one way of developing occupational standard is using DACUM process. In technical and vocational training specifically in TVT, we use these things. DACUM is more importantly a method that is used to conduct a thorough analysis of a given occupations. DACUM approach as inputs for occupational standard scientific curriculum. You or we can use it also. Literally, the DACUM workshop is undertaken in that the experts that are working on a particular job are gathered together and then list jobs, duties, and specific tasks for a particular occupation along with knowledge, skills, tools, and materials required to perform the jobs. We'll see what jobs mean, what duties mean, what specific tasks mean in the next slides. So, International Labour Organization, ILO, gave definition. Actually, there are different scholars that give definition for DACUM. Ohio University, and also especially in Canada, this is very known. It is very, very common method of curriculum development, especially in vocational education. So, according to ILO, DACUM is quick and cost-effective methods of occupational analysis that uses a focus group to facilitate a storyboarding process in order to conduct a thorough analysis of a given occupation. There are 3 philosophies or principles that DACUM states at. The first philosophy is read as expert workers can describe and define their job more accurately than anyone else. Yeah, this is very important. What does this mean? In DACUM analysis, there should be expert. That expert should be experienced, practitioner as well. Unlike other types of job analysis in which paraprofessionals participate, in DACUM philosophy, no room to allow them to participate. Only expert workers, because expert workers can describe and define their job more accurately than anyone else. Yeah. So we leave the room for the workers, for experts when we deal with DACUM philosophy. That is one of its strengths when compared with other types of competence-based training material development approach. The second philosophy is read as an effective way to define a job is to precisely describe the tasks that expert workers perform. Yeah. What does an expert worker do or expert workers do? They effectively, precisely describe the tasks that they have to do. What do you do? When you ask them what to do. You don't tell them the only thing is you ask, what are you doing? What are the steps that you follow? What are the tasks that you perform as a performer or professional? Then they explain it. They tell you every story. The good facilitator captures that and analyze that and put it on the board and also rectify it. That's what we're going to see actually. Anyways, the second philosophy you have to know, keep in mind is an effective way to define a job, a particular job is to precisely describe the tasks that expert workers perform. This is the second philosophy. Now we move to the third philosophy of DACUM process. All tasks, in order to be performed correctly, they demand certain knowledge, skills, tools, and workers' behavior. Look, in order somebody or someone or a professional or a worker to perform something, he has to know the knowledge, he has to have the skills, he has to acquire certain skills, and also he has to equipped with tools, and also he has to acquire work ethics or the behavior that that specific work needs. For instance, if one wants to make a chair, he or she should have knowledge about the chair. What type of wood, types of wood, plywoods for instance, features of wood, piece of wood. He or she as a chair maker should have a skill of cutting a wood using saw, a skill of nailing maybe, if the chair is made of wood. There should be also tools. The tools are very necessary. One, in order to work something, he or she has to have tools. For example, in order to make a chair, there should be what we call it hammer, if it is a wood. There should be tool there. There should be a saw, different types of saws. Another issue is worker behavior. What do you say? There should be ethics, safety, for example. Health and safety precautions, because when you do something, especially when you make a chair, there might be damage, that might be a kind of injury that might happen. So in order to mitigate that, he or she as a competent worker should acquire the necessary behavior or develop the necessary behavior or ethics that's required. So all these three philosophies or principles should be kept, should be followed in order the DACUM process to be fulfilled. Now, let us go to the benefits of DACUM. DACUM is used for a variety of purposes, for that matter, to job and skills classification and mapping process analysis, to develop competency-based TV curriculum and training materials, to illustrate the breaking down of occupations into small tasks. DACUM is also widely known to be used for the development of occupational standards and curriculum development in TV program. Of course, in order to do this, there should be experienced facilitator. One of the big problems to implement DACUM is not getting the real or the competent DACUM facilitator. Now, who uses DACUM? International agencies, business and industry, educational agencies. Now, I have been reading who are using about these things. For instance, regarding about international agencies, it is read like this. In over 40 countries have used the DACUM process for education and training program development and updating. These user countries include the Philippines, Hungary, Jamaica, Canada, New Zealand, Venezuela, Turkey, Brazil, Malaysia, Singapore, and China. All these use DACUM approach, especially in the technical and vocational education materials development. By the way, in Africa also, I know I'm experienced in Ethiopia, in my country. In Ethiopia also, about 20 years back, we used to use this DACUM approach in order to classify occupations, jobs, and duties. I remember there were 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, and 10 plus 3 TVET approaches that we followed. 10 plus 1, of course, 10 plus 3 was equivalent to diploma, I remember. That was the very excellent story that Ethiopia has in TVET. It is about 20 years back. So at that time, I was one of the members of Ministry of Education in TVET sector. We used to use DACUM approach, honestly speaking, which was very fruitful. So I really suggest you as a training consultant or maybe organization to use DACUM approach. Another is business industry. It says business industry. Now, in business industry also there are many industries that use, including airlines, most airlines, even international civil aviation organizations prefer or recommend DACUM to use competency-based training. You can refer to Google, to the internet. You can see ICAO, International Civil Association Organizations. They use DACUM approach. Because when you use DACUM approach, because of these three principles, by the way, these three principles are very important because it's the expert workers that can describe the work. Because an effective way to define the job is to describe the tasks. Because all tasks, in order to be performed correctly, demand certain knowledge. Because this philosophy, most competency-based training approach follows use DACUM approach. So even why in the aviation industry or the airlines use this one, airways use this one, airport, why do they use this one? Because it is fast, because it is quick, because it shows exactly what competent workers should do. That's why. So it is very good tools which most companies do not know its benefits. It's better. On my way, if you want a kind of help, my hand, or how to do this, you can welcome and communicate me, by the way. So educational agencies also use it, especially in Tibet. And vocational education also they use it. I could read educational agencies such as State Department of Education, Community and Technical College, and institutes. They use widely, worldwide, this DACUM approach. I also suggest for military services, for military, police, maybe, policing, maybe also in military, maybe in, what can I say, aircraft maintenance like that. In what type of the Air Force, for example. In Air Force, there are people who are working there in different professions. Yeah? In order for them to make competent, I suggest them to use DACUM approach. DACUM approach, that is what I suggest. Okay, having this it. Now the next one is how and where is DACUM used? DACUM used in different ways. One, management uses. The other is training related uses. And also human resource placement uses. We will see all of them one by one. When we say management uses, DACUM is used to redesign jobs, to conduct performance evaluation. To conduct performance evaluation, when you say, because it explains specifically the tasks that one worker should do. It will be articulated, it will be listed down. Because of this, in order to check whether a worker perform it well or not, we can use a DACUM as a tool. So it helps us to conduct performance evaluation as well. It also uses for establish standard operating procedures. And also it uses for determine task value added, and also to control competency development, input to quality planning, ISO as well. All of them I can understand actually the way it's used the way it is applied in all of them. So what I wanted to tell you is only that DACUM is used for this and others purposes. Another is or perspective in which DACUM is used in training related issues. This is very common, especially in training, competence-based training. What does competence-based training mean? By the way, I've explained this one in different videos of mine, so you can refer there. Even in my video of 1 and 10th videos that will come soon, you will see what competence-based training means. So DACUM is used to determine task importance. Yeah, when you talk about task might be. All tasks are not equal, by the way. All tasks are equal, but some tasks are more equal than others, I can say. For example, some tasks are very important. Some tasks are difficult. Some tasks are what's done frequently or routinely. So DACUM identify all these properties or features of tasks in particular job or duties. And also DACUM is used to assess the training needs. Yeah, it has its own way actually. That should be a good facilitator, assessor facilitator there, or assessor, trained assessor should be there when you talk about assessment. By the way, I presented about assessment, competence-based assessment in my videos, you can read that there. And also basis for developing training materials. Yeah, different types of training materials. You can use DACUM in order to develop that. You can use also to identify performance standards also. Okay, another usage of or the benefit of DACUM is in human resource placement perspectives. That means to develop job descriptions. Yeah, It's very simple because it is because of the principles. Don't forget the three philosophies. The three philosophies. So because of those three philosophies, one, the people gather together, workers, professionals gather together and list down the jobs, list down the duties, and list down the tasks, the skills, and the like. Because of this, it also helps, not only in education industry, by the way. I've been, about 50 years back, I facilitated job description analysis using DACUM for Ethiopian Electric Power Organization by that time. I remember it was fruitful by then. So other organizations or business organizations can also use DACUM for not only for training purposes, but also for human resource placements, but also for training related issues, also for management uses. By the way, it's better if you experience or practice it, or check it out, so that you will be satisfied. You'll get gainful satisfaction and result as well. So it is for conduct career planning and development. Yeah, it's used for certified occupational competence, which is widely used, especially in TVET, technical and vocational education training arena. It also used for devised job classifications as well. Yeah, I know how to do these things because I'm a facilitator. That's why it needs a DACUM facilitator in order to do all these things. Okay, now let me show you some DACUM chart. For instance, this is simple. Of course, you can't see in detail. We will see each of them in detail. We will see each of them in detail, okay? And each of them like this. So, but now let me go back to the DACUM chart. Yeah, this is almost what you call it, the DACUM chart. The DACUM chart will say, for instance, here you can get what you call it. This is a job, by the way. We call this job. The job is repair electrical DC machine. Or performer or worker, electrician. Repair electrician, you can say. What does that person repair? Electrical DC machines. That are what we call it DC machines, AC machines. But now this job is about DC machines. Repairing DC machine is one of the jobs of electrical machines. There might be two jobs. Job number one, repair electrical DC machine. Job number two, repair electrical AC machine. But now we deal with DC machine. This is what we call it job. Now, job will be classified into duties. Duty will be classified into tasks. That's what we are going to see. Before I come here, I think it's better if I show this one. Job means big occupation. For example, electrical machine repairman might repair DC machines as well as AC machines. If he only repair DC machine, his job is to repair DC machine, not AC machine. So the job can be repair electrical DC machine. Next, duty. Look, there are about 2, 3, 4 duties maybe under the job. When the jobs are classified, broken down, that break piece is called as duty. Duty. We will see what duty is. In job, for example, here duties are two duties are there: repair electrical DC generators, repair electrical DC motors. Look, when you talk about machines, there are two types of machines, of course. There are generators, there are motors, there are transformers, for that matter, when you go electrical machine. Okay, now let us talk about generator, let us talk about motor. So generator is one, repair generator is one work under repairing DC machine. Repairing DC motors is also one part of the work under repairing DC machines. So from this, what we understand is when the jobs are divided, broken down into pieces, those broken down pieces are called duties. Now, the next one is duties also will be classified into tasks. Tasks are very simple work or simple activities. Simple, when you say it is a small amount of, rather than saying simple, it is a small amount of work. A small amount of work named as tasks. Tasks together give us duty. Duties together give us job. That is it. That is it. Of course, it has its own system or approach to develop this way. because sometimes it's difficult to identify which one is job, which one is duty, which one is task. So an adept or experienced DACUM facilitator know how to facilitate these issues. Now I've shown you the two duties and repair DC machines. Now these are tasks. For example, let us take one duty, that is repair electrical DC generator. We are talking about DC generator, not about DC motor now. Okay. Under repairing electrical DC generator, there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tasks, small workers. For instance, the first task is identify type of generator, identify component of DC, identify types of prime mover, and the like. The last one, 1.9, is repair maintenance work. Anyways, so there are about 9 tasks under DC. All these are what are done under DACUM process using the 3 philosophies, which was run or facilitated by trained DACUM facilitator. Okay, the second one is for motor. Motor is duty. Under motor there are 4, 5, 6, 7 activities, what you call it tasks, that are done accordingly. Then remember the third philosophy. Let me go back to the third philosophy, by the way. The third philosophy, I wanted to remember or remind you about the philosophy. The third philosophy was read as this one, by the way. The third philosophy, all tasks in order to be performed correctly demand certain knowledge, skills, tools, and working behavior. Yeah? Because of this one, in DACUM process, there are what we are going to see. What I'm going to show you. Look, general knowledge and skills required in order to repair electrical DC machines. What are needed? This knowledge, among many others. Not only this, it is not limited to this knowledge and skills actually. He or she, as a DC machine repairman or repair person, should know basic electronics, electricity and magnetism. He or she should learn technical drawing, or should have knowledge and skills on technical drawing. You understand the reason why, yeah? These are supportive tasks or supportive knowledge and skills that are needed. Mind you, these are the one which is going to be converted into curriculum. Troubleshooting technique, basic instrumentation, safety rules, all these are important, one, in order to perform a specific task or duty or job or occupation for that matter, based on the DACUM philosophy. Another is tools. Tools are very important according to the philosophy, DACUM philosophy search. The following are some of the tools, equipment, and material needed in order to perform or repair DC electrical machines. These are tools and equipment: magnifying glasses, dust remover, manuals and catalog, apron, stationery, local regulations, measurement instrument, among many others. You can read the rest of them. On the right hand side, there are materials, consumable materials for that matter, or references, maybe reference manual and reference books, maintenance manual, service manual. Not only this, by the way, there are other components also, such as wires, for example. Wire is very important. There are other things that you can include. These are the tools and equipment are not limited to what I've mentioned for you. This is simply example. They are put as example, okay? Anyways, all these are performed based on the DACUM philosophy. Work behavior, for example. Work behavior is very important, especially for the workers. For example, he or she should be patient, teamwork, punctuality, flexibility, confident. He or she should be competent enough, stress tolerant. He or she should be productive, detail oriented. Okay, not only this, there are also other issues. So these are when, according to DACUM process, when all these things are done. By the way, all these things I have mentioned to you are presented or articulated or listed by workers, expert workers according to philosophy number 1, DACUM philosophy number 1. Then you will change or convert it to curriculum now, very simple, after the DACUM process, or you can use it as it is, by the way. Okay, now there are demerits of DACUM. Of course, we have seen the merits. Now there are some demerits. The DACUM does not clearly portray what to do to make use of them for training purposes. Yeah, it is not clear how to convert DACUM to training materials like curriculum. How do you convert DACUM to curriculum? How to convert DACUM to syllabus? how to convert DACUM to learning guides, learning aids, or handouts. It does not clearly show you. Of course, you can use it as it is, but there is a way to use it. By the way, regarding this, in my PhD, I've undertaken my thesis or dissertation, PhD dissertation, entitled as the practice of technical and vocational education training, curriculum design and development. The case of Ethiopia, for that matter. So at that time, I have found out the way DACUM is converted to curriculum, or the way curriculum is, or training materials are derived from curriculum. So I have my own way of doing so actually. Anyways, it's not clear. Most of the time, people could not understand the way it is developed to handouts or training materials. That is the way actually, innovative way to do that. Another demerits or limitations is the DACUM lacks understanding of labor market demand and the training needs assessment before they are developed. Yeah. So here, that should be a kind of labor market that should be done first before you go to DACUM. Of course, by DACUM by itself, by DACUM committee even, there is a way of identifying labor market or skills mapping as well. There is approach, there is a way of doing that for that matter. Okay, now there is also other demerits that my research found out. It should be the mandatory for the developers of DACUM to verify pre-development process such as functional analysis. Yeah, of course, before DACUM, you can do a kind of functional analysis or skill gaps for that matter. Sometimes, as I've already said, the DACUM by itself can address that. Another major limitation of the DACUM is inability to classify duty tasks per qualification level. Yeah. Which one is identified as tasks, which one is duty? It is very difficult. So it needs professional DACUM facilitator in order to identify which one is to be put under duty, which work is to be put under task. For example, making a chair, is it a duty? Is it a job? Or is it a task? It depends, okay, it depends according to the occupation. If the occupation is furniture making, of course, making a chair may fall to job. But if the occupation is to make a chair by itself, yeah, maybe fixing or maybe making the legs of the chair might fall to duties or tasks, depending on the situation. So actually, anyways, it's not clear. That is put as the demerits for that matter. So in next videos follows video 110, competency standards analysis. Look, DACUM is one approach. Competency standard analysis is also another approach as to implicating for competency-based occupational standard and TV curriculum development. So I want you to watch my 110th video as well, 111th, 112th as well, so that to get full-fledged information or knowledge about DACUM. Thank you very much. See you in my video 1 and 11th. Till then, bye-bye.